Hello friends, myself Dr. Ritvi and I welcome you to our channel Homeopathy the Healing Power. Friends, today we are going to study homeopathic medicine Bryonia. Friends, Bryonia is one of the important medicine in our homeopathic Medica. Also, it is one of the important homeopathic medicine that we need in our day-to-day practice. Friends, Bryonia is one of the super powerful medicine that can relieve any type of joint pain. The joint pain that may have caused due to rheumatism, due to osteoarthritis, or a pain that has occurred after fall or after trauma, or any diseases related to synovial joint. Bryonia gives a magical result and makes your patient free from suffering. Whatever may be the diseases, if symptom similarity matches, Bryonia works wonderfully. So friends, let's have a detailed study of this super powerful medicine Bryonia, both clinical point of view and student point of view. And if you are new to our channel and if you have not subscribed our channel till now, then subscribe the channel, press the bell icon so that you will be get notified whenever a new video is uploaded from Homeopathy the Healing Power. Like this video and also share this video among homeopathic students and among practitioners. So let's get started. Bryonia Alba. Bryonia is proved by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann sir. Bryonia is one of the right-sided medicine. It belongs to the family Cucurbitaceae. And the common name of this medicine is white brownie or wild hope. Bryonia is one of the perennial climbing herbaceous vine. It is found in middle and south of Europe. The homeopathic mother tincture is prepared from the roots of this plant. Friends, now let's see the sphere of action of Bryonia. Bryonia acts on serous membrane and on mucous membrane of the body. It also acts on liver, on respiratory system and on the brain. It is also seen that Bryonia has its special action on fibrous tissue. Bryonia is one of the right-sided medicine. The main seat of action of Bryonia is also seen on synovial membranes and on the muscular fibers. Friends, now let's see the pathogenesis of Bryonia. Bryonia acts on serous membrane, on mucous membrane and on synovial membranes, as well as it acts on the viscera. When acting on viscera, it is seen that it acts first on pleura and on lungs. Later it acts on brain and finally it acts on liver. Bryonia acts as an irritant. It produces a pure irritation. Even when Bryonia is applied locally or superficially, it produces inflammation due to its irritative property. And this similar type of action, that is irritation, which then produces inflammation, is seen in the pathogenesis of Bryonia. By acting on synovial membranes, Bryonia also produces irritation and inflammation. It then produces exudation, infiltration and effusion in these membranes, thus presenting a pure picture of rheumatism, a pure picture of rheumatic arthritis. This inflammation and effusion is seen in the muscle fibers and in the joints. Friends, there are three most important keynotes of pathogenesis of Bryonia. These keynotes are also important because later they produce a similar type of symptom in the body. That is inflammation, dryness and lack of secretion. These are the three important keynotes of pathogenesis of Bryonia. And later we will see how these pathogenesis produces a typical keynote symptom of Bryonia, which are really helpful for prescription. When Bryonia acts on the mucous membrane of the body, it here also produces dryness and lack of secretion. Lack of secretion and dryness are the keynotes of Bryonia, except in case of serous effusion. So friends, now let's see one by one keynote symptoms of Bryonia in correlation with the pathogenesis of Bryonia, so that it will be easy for us to remember and easy for us to understand Bryonia in detail. This point is also easy for student point of view to remember the medicine, as well as this point is very important for practitioners, so that if you see these symptoms in your patient, you can clearly understand that this is a typical Bryonia picture and you can go ahead with your prescription. First of all, looking at the sphere of action and on the pathogenesis of Bryonia, it is clearly seen that Bryonia can act well on any diseases related to joints. That means it can be helpful for clinical conditions like rheumatism, for osteoarthritis. It is also indicated for any diseases related to respiratory tract, like in pleurisy, in pneumonia, in whooping cough, in epistaxis, as well as wherever you find inflammation and wherever you find dryness of secretion. Friends, the most important keynote symptom of Bryonia for any prescription is there is an aggravation from slightest motion. This is the prominent symptom of Bryonia. This symptom can be seen in rheumatism, in headache, in any disease condition, especially seen in rheumatism or any joint pain. Patient is so much fearful for any slightest motion because a slightest motion brings pain and suffering to the patient. Even while coughing, it is seen that the Bryonia patient holds the chest while coughing. Patient here holds the chest tightly so that to avoid a motion, to avoid any jar. There is an aggravation from the slightest motion also because there is a great dryness seen. There is a lack of secretion from serous membrane and from mucous membrane. So, slightest motion creates the pain, creates the suffering in the patient. So, patient now becomes fearful to motion and patient generally avoids any type of motion. And also because of the great dryness and because of lack of secretion, it is seen that in the Bryonia patient itself, there is a great thirst for cold water. This dryness is now seen in the mucous membrane of stomach, and so the patient is so much thirsty, especially for cold water. This dryness is also seen in the tongue of Bryonia patient. Bryonia patient have dry tongue, especially white coated, with little bit of cracks seen. This type of cracks are also seen on the lips of Bryonia patient. This dryness of mucous membrane is also seen in the intestinal tract, and so from this point, the most important keynote symptom of Bryonia is seen in constipation. That is, because of this dryness, patient suffers from constipation, and so patient passes dry, hard, knotty stool as if burnt. This is one of the keynote symptom of Bryonia, one of the most prominent symptom of Bryonia in constipation. Because of the inflammation produced by Bryonia and because of the lack of secretion and dryness seen in the mucous membrane and in the serous membrane, again a new symptom, a prominent symptom is seen, and that is stitching type of pains in the body. Patient literally suffers from stitching type of the pain. Pain as if the needle are piercing in the body. This type of pain are specially seen while patient is suffering from pleurisy, from pneumonia, or stitching type of pain are also seen when patient is suffering from any joint pain, in cases of rheumatism or a muscle pain. Also this type of pain are seen as an body ache when patient is suffering from any typhoidal fever. This is again a PQRS symptom of Bryonia. Friends, these were the keynote symptoms of Bryonia. Friends, there are also many other keynote symptoms of Bryonia, and we will see them in the clinical part in the later part of this video. But before that, let's see the origin of symptoms. How symptoms are originated in Bryonia. Symptoms in Bryonia are originated due to anger, due to chagrin and mortification. Now friends, chagrin means a distressed state of mind which is caused due to failure of aims or plan. And mortification means a sense of extreme shame or a state where the person has suppressed his desires. Symptoms in Bryonia also occurs after taking cold or getting hot in summers, and also when days are hot and nights are cold. This is most important causation of Bryonia. Symptoms in Bryonia are also caused after taking cold food and cold drink. Also, when the discharges or any skin eruption are suppressed, the symptoms in Bryonia are seen. Friends, so now let's see the clinical conditions where Bryonia is often indicated. Starting first with headache. In Bryonia, bursting type of headache is seen. Here patient feels as if the brain is going to burst. Headache in Bryonia is caused due to exposure to cold air and also because of constipation. There is stitching type of pain, and this pain gets aggravated from motion in morning when patient first opens his eyes, and these pains get relieved by pressure and also by lying on painful side. Friends, let's see the gastrointestinal symptoms of Bryonia. As Bryonia produces dryness of mucous membrane in alimentary tract, so it is highly indicated for dry cracked lips. Also, it is indicated for dryness of mouth with great thirst for large quantity of cold water. Bryonia is also indicated in constipation. Here in constipation, the character of stool is very unique. The stool is dry, hard, knotty, as if burnt. This type of constipation is seen in Bryonia because again it produces dryness of mucous membrane of colon. So here it produces very bad type of constipation. Along with constipation, a concomitant symptom is seen, and that is with constipation there is headache. The patient suffers from headache. Bryonia is also indicated in diarrhea. Here, diarrhea is caused after taking cold foods and drinks, when days are hot and nights are cold. Here, patient suffers from morning diarrhea. As soon as the patient gets up from the bed and puts his feet on the floor, patient suffers from loose stool. Patient has to hurry to pass the stool. This complaints get aggravated again from slightest motion and gets ameliorated from complete rest. Friends, it is seen that Bryonia has its main seat of action on respiratory tract. So it is highly indicated in cases of cough and pneumonia. So let's see cough in Bryonia. In Bryonia, cough is caused after taking cold or after getting hot in summer or after exposure to cold air. Usually here the right-sided chest is affected. The patient suffers from very dry, hard cough. There is a dry cough with vomiting, also with stitching pain felt by the patient in the chest region. The most important symptom is seen that while coughing, the patient holds his chest because the slightest motion aggravates the pain. Cough is aggravated more towards night and from motion as well. From heat of room also the cough gets aggravated. and this cough is relieved by complete rest, by lying on painful site and by pressure. Along with this cough, the concomitant symptom is seen, and that is there is a great thirst felt by the patient for large quantity of cold water. Friends, Bryonia is also indicated in pneumonia. Bryonia is indicated for early stage of pneumonia, and here especially lower lobe of right lung is affected. Stitching type of pain is felt by the patient, and most of the symptoms are similar like that of cough. Patient has a desire to take a deep breath. Along with pneumonia, patient here also suffers from constipation. Friends, Bryonia is a very helpful medicine for all type of fevers, especially in typhoidal fever and in rheumatoid fever. Here, fever in Bryonia occurs due to taking cold in hot summer weather or from exposure to cold air, or after taking cold when getting warm. The onset of fever is very slow and insidious. This is also keynote symptom of Bryonia, that whenever any symptom occurs in Bryonia patient, they always occurs very slowly and very insidiously. During fever, the patient lies very quiet on the bed. Patient does not want to move anywhere. He does not want to speak, and also the patient even does not want to open his eyes, because a little bit of motion is going to increase the suffering of patient. During fever, in many cases, low muttering delirium is also seen, and in this delirium, the patient generally talks about his daily business. There is one keynote symptom seen, and that is the patient desires to go out of the bed and to go home, although he is at home. So the patient will constantly tell doctor during any conversation that he wants to go home, though he is already present at home. During this type of fever, the mouth is again dry, the tongue is again dry and white coated with great thirst. Sometimes the cough is also seen during fever, and the complaints are relieved by lying on painful site and by pressure. Sometimes also constipation is also seen during the fever. Friends, the mild symptoms of Bryonia patient are also very unique and very important. The patient is ill-humored and very irritable. The patient easily gets angry. There is also great anxiety and mental depression seen in Bryonia patient. Also, delirium is seen, which we have discussed in fever already. Friends, one symptom you will notice in Bryonia patient is that there will be a constant motion of left arm and left leg. There will be a weakness of mind as if he would faint. During any fever or during any disease condition, or also during a conversation or while a case taking with patient, you will notice that the Bryonia patient often talks about his business. He is very anxious about his business. There is a great anxiety about future. The Bryonia patient's mood is uncertain. Patient does not know what he wants. Patient does not know his own mind. So he finds very hard to please himself. He wants various things, but when offered, they are refused by the patient. Friends, these were the mild symptom of Bryonia. Bryonia is also indicated in vicarious menstruation. Here the nose bleeds at time of menses, or whenever the menstrual flow is checked because of cold, the nose bleeding appears. This is also keynote symptom of this medicine. Friends, Bryonia is complementary to alumina and rustox. Alumina is chronic of Bryonia. Friends, this was a detailed video on Bryonia. Please leave your valuable feedback and any suggestion in the comments section given below. Like this video and share this video among homeopathic students and practitioners. Subscribe the channel to stay connected. Meet you soon. Thank you for watching.